Find God.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rob Partner. So I've been saying I was gonna do this for a while, right? And I always back out of doing it just for a lot of reasons. But today I'm sitting at the house by myself, and I've been going through scriptures and I've been reading a little bit, and I just feel like today is the day that I finally be 100% honest and be 100% transparent with my testimony and how I came back to God. So I guess we can start with me moving to Atlanta. I was in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? And I was chilling, I was doing my thing, but I just felt like Dallas was getting old. I had a sense of change that I needed inside of me, and something was just calling me to ATL. I decided to go to Atlanta. I flew out there, a few dollars in my pocket. I got out there saying I wanted to make it in the music industry. I wanted to make it in Hollywood, as far as being an actor, and that was the plan. The plan was for me to be out there and just find a way to make some money, and pursue my dreams that I always wanted to pursue. As I get to ATL, I start getting hit with life. Not necessarily a struggle, but just pain. It felt like as soon as I got there, my uncle passed away on me. I ended up having to do CPR on his lifeless body until the medics get there. A few months later, my dad's mother passes away. Couple months after that, my mother passes away. Few months after that, my aunt passes away. And I just start feeling like I gotta find a way to numb this. I mean, I dealt with death before, but I've never dealt with it back to back. Like, you gotta understand, I was leaving my father's mother's funeral, and I got a phone call from my mom telling me that her mother was in the hospital. So it was just a stressful moment. I mean, these things, probably for the first year and a half, 2 years that I was in ATL, I probably lost like 5 people back to back. The crazy part about it was that as I was deciding to numb my pain with alcohol, drugs, as far as just staying high all day, not like no hard drugs, but just drugs that keep you going, like just smoking weed, you know what I mean? Popping ecstasy, just keeping my energy up and keeping my mind off of like real life and what's going on, not allowing myself to feel this pain, right? And I start cutting hair out there. As I'm cutting hair, I'm still like numbing my pain. But numbing my pain projected me, like it sent me into a space where all I wanted to do was make money. I felt like that's the only way that I could compete with like the pain that was being shot at me, was reflecting it, but with success. So in my mind, I'm looking at everything like, if I could just keep on making money. I'm cutting everybody's hair. I'm drunk off of tequila all day long. I'm high off of weed and ecstasy all day long. Like month after month. This is just how I'm living my life, because I'm not wanting to deal with the pain that's coming my direction. But in the midst of me doing that, I'm becoming more successful. And I remember sitting at the foot of my bed one day and crying to God and telling him, literally, right now I have to put you second. And thinking back on it, it's just like, how crazy was I? Like, thinking back on it is like, how crazy was I in that moment to have the audacity to tell God, I have to put you second, and the world has to come first, because the only thing that I'm feeling in this moment that's creating a sense of happiness, which I know is totally false, was the money. Immediately when I said, God, I'm putting you second, life started to change. I mean, like, instantly, I'm the biggest barber in North Decatur on the outskirts of Atlanta. I'm cutting all of the celebrities. I'm pulling up to basketball players' cribs and cutting them. When I say it happened overnight, when I say that the moment that what I realize now that I didn't realize then was that I wasn't just telling God, I have to put you second. I was telling Satan, whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do, as long as I can get paid, as long as I can get fame, as long as I can get worldly success. Because in my mind, in that moment, I felt like all I needed was worldly success. I moved to ATL with a dream to be a superstar rapper, a dream to be a social media content creating super influencer, to be a movie star. The moment I made that decision at the foot of that bed, I kid you not, the first person that I cut of celebrity status was Method Man from Wu-Tang. And it's just no coincidence that, it's not just a coincidence that Method Man had just been number one. Wu-Tang was one of my favorite rap groups in hip hop history. Number two, Method Man was probably on the list of like my top 6 rappers ever. And the moment I made that decision to put God second and put the world first, I'm getting a phone call to cut Method Man. I'm getting a phone call to cut Method Man's manager. I'm getting a phone call. Everything started happening so fast. And I remember going to the barbershop one morning, and every single morning I would talk to Rat. That's my oldest brother. Every morning I would talk to Rat. Early. Like, I would get to the barbershop maybe around 8:45 a.m. every single morning. Like, I kicked it into overdrive because I said, man, I'm losing so many people. I just need to get rich. It was kind of like, in my mind, getting rich would stop time and people wouldn't die, even though we know that that's not true. It's just like something was telling me that, which was probably Lucy, Lucifer. But that's what my mind was on, was like, by any means necessary, just get rich. Get rich, get rich, get rich. I found myself making so much money as a barber, and even barbering. I didn't even have it in my plans to be cutting hair. I didn't even have it in my plans to be cutting hair. I never had a barber's license a day in my life. I had never cut hair in a barbershop a day in my life. And I got on the phone with somebody back in Dallas, and they were like, bro, you always been cutting hair. You might as well just find somewhere where you could try to cut hair. That might be a good idea. I hit like 5 barbershops on Instagram. One of them hit me back. I walked in there. As I walked in there, I realized there was no other barbers. They told me I could start the next day. I was the only barber in this specific barbershop in this very popular area. working for a franchise barber brand that already was groomed for success. And here I am by myself in a barbershop cutting hair for the first 3 months, totally by myself. I built up a year's worth of clientele in about 60 to 90 days. I started seeing more money than I had ever seen legally a day in my life. So I said, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep this going non-stop. But back to me being on the phone. So I'm trying to fast forward because it's so much stuff in between. Like I'm trying to just, go skip by skip. So I'm on the phone with Rat like every single morning. Every single morning I'm on the phone with my big brother. And this particular morning, I'm talking to him, but I got this gut feeling inside of me. And I remember it like it was yesterday because the way the barbershop was set up, it was inside of a shopping center. So you had a beauty supply, a Chinese food spot, a chicken spot, and then there was a Kroger's. It was the Kroger's parking lot shopping center. So I would always go to Kroger's every morning and go get a coffee or something. And I'm sitting on the phone with Rat, and we talking, and he's just like, all right, baby bro, what you need? Like, tell me how much money you need. Tell me what we need to do, what we need to put together. You put a little bit of bread up, I'll put most of the bread up. Just tell me what we need to do so we could get you popping. Because right now you want to move and it's time for you to be famous. It's time for you to get these millions, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. And if people know about my older brothers, we from the east side of Camden, New Jersey. My brothers always had money. And I'll just leave it there. You know what I mean? People that know, they know. If you don't, just understand we from a poverty stricken area, but my family always had a little bit of money to spend. And as I'm talking to him, I'm excited about the opportunity because all I ever wanted to do was like work with my big brother. It was like I didn't really grow up around him because I grew up in Dallas while he was growing up, while he lived all of his life in New Jersey. I would just go out there in the summertime and stuff. So as I turned into an adult, it was like I always wanted to do business with my big bro. I always had ideas for him to stop living a particular lifestyle, for us to go like 100% legit. He used to call me with ideas, and I'm talking to him, and I just get this feeling. And I can't explain the feeling, but it was a feeling. And a few years prior, we had lost my second oldest brother, Sean. We call him Bebop. We already lost him, so we were still sore about that. You know what I mean? We were still very sore about that, and we would have several conversations about him every time we spoke. But this particular morning, I just had this feeling, this gut feeling that something was wrong. So as my brother is talking all this money talk on the phone, I say, Rat, I need you to stay safe, bro. I don't need you going over here. I don't need you going over there. I need you to stay safe, bro. And he just like, I got you, little bro. And I'm saying, no, Rat. I can't afford to lose another big brother, dog. I can't afford to lose another big bro. And he's just like, baby bro, it's all good. So, we finished talking, and I'm sorry if I'm getting a little emotional because I usually don't talk about this day. But we get off the phone. I do my regular one too. You know what I mean? a regular day. I think it might have been like a Friday or something like that, because my cousin that also lives in Georgia was throwing like a little get together. So I was like, okay, when I get done cutting hair, you know what I mean? I'm gonna come out there on y'all side of town and we're gonna kick it. We're gonna party, like family party. And we out there, we kicking it, we drinking, you know what I mean? We eating, we having a good time. And I think it was one of my baby cousin's birthdays or something like that. But we out there having a good time. And my cousin Angie tell me to call Rat. I call Rat and get him on FaceTime. And he's gambling like he always do. But I was a little bit upset because I had just told him not to go to this particular place. I had a gut feeling. And my cousin get on the phone and she a little tipsy, and immediately the first thing that she say is something about my other brother that passed away. And so my brother got mad. He hangs up the phone because he trying to gamble, right? If anybody know Rat, they know that he don't want to be bothered when he gambling. So I'm sitting there and we chilling. I get off the phone, and maybe like an hour later, I get a random message on my phone that tell me, hey, they got shot. They know somebody got shot at the gambling spot, and they think it was Rat. For me to check up on him to see if he answered my call. And I called him a couple times and he didn't answer. But in my mind, I'm just like, all right, well, maybe he had, if it is him, maybe he at a hospital right now or something. You know, my brother been shot a couple of times before, so I'm not thinking like, I'm trying not to think it, but I know it. And I really get quiet for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? I end up going home. I end up saying a prayer, going to sleep, and just telling myself whatever it is, I'm going to deal with it tomorrow. And I woke up the next day and I was messaged out, notificationed out that my oldest brother had passed away. At that moment, I knew that I knew that I didn't feel nothing else. At that moment, I knew that at the time, the love that I had in my heart, it was gone. I knew after I went to New Jersey and I buried my big brother, I knew that I was going to come back to ATL and I wasn't going to have no more cares. I felt like outside of losing a parent, outside of losing my grandmother, I knew that I kind of was just like in a place where if it didn't make money, it didn't make sense.
Find God.